This is 10 Eyewitness News. First at 5 with Natasha Belling.
Good evening. First tonight, residents in Yeppoon, which bore the brunt of Marcia yesterday, have been allowed back to take a look at their battered homes. And for many, the news is certainly not good, with their homes destroyed and more than 60,000 without power. For residents further south, Marcia is now a tropical low, but her effects are still being felt. The storm is naturally nowhere as big as she was this time yesterday, but as you can see, the system is bringing with it very heavy rain, with some areas north of Brisbane reporting more than 110 millimetres in just 2 hours. And wind gusts are also hitting nearly 100 kilometres an hour. We'll cross to Beerwell with some good news about 3 missing teens in just a moment. But first, let's go to Yeppoon. Kristina Castalis is there. And Christina, a big clean-up job for residents there.
Yes, the community is banding together and has all day been cleaning up the mess here in the town in 30-degree heat. Very emotional scenes here on the ground. Many families are now homeless and a business was broken into overnight, so looting is now a concern. 24 hours after bearing the brunt of Marcia's fury, the skies in Yeppoon are now calm and the sea is smooth.
It's just, so flat, it's beautiful, and yeah, yesterday was pretty scary.
The Category 5 cyclone has damaged hundreds of homes in the coastal town, leaving residents in every street devastated. 11-year-old Angus Smith and his 7-year-old brother, Tom, returning to what's left of their home.
We at least have our clothes and all our stuff.
Except for their pet, which remains trapped inside.
My goldfish is still alive and I don't even know how.
Unbelievable. What did you do when you saw him?
I just... I didn't even know what to say.
Their mother is too distraught to visit.
Oh, she was really shaken up. Of course, she's a single mum and, 2 young boys, and she struggled really hard to put a roof over their heads, and it's a bit of a setback for them.
Their roof landed in the backyard pool of a home 2 doors down. Irene was bunkering down in the bathroom, terrified, along with her 2 pugs.
I could hear this huge crash, rumbling and crash, and I actually thought it was part of my roof.
With power out in Yeppoon, most businesses are closed.
Devastated, but happy that we're good.
Nikki Smith and her partner Tony Russell just bought a fruit and veggie business 6 days ago.
It's a bit of a shock, but we'll work it out. It'll come good.
The bakery next door was forced to throw out 5,000 pastries and cakes. Some were just happy to sit back with their feet up, but for others, inspecting the damage was overwhelming.
Yeah, everyone's out, like around where I live, and everyone's out helping everybody, so yes, definitely community spirit.
The clean-up is well underway. Machinery is cleaning trees and debris on roads and walkways, but it'll take weeks, if not months, before normality returns. Meanwhile, in Rockhampton, the Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk has met with the Mayor before visiting the Disaster Management Centre, where she was given an update of the situation. All flights into the city have been cancelled and 89% of the region's power is out. And more than 1,100 homes and businesses have received structural damage. Natasha.
Christina, thank you.
The Queensland father accused of feeding his 2-year-old daughter cannabis oil to help treat her cancer has spoken publicly for the first time since his arrest. He's pleading for the government to legalise medicinal marijuana and for his charges to be dropped. Kristina Castalis has our exclusive report.
He's dubbed the fearless father.
Daddy.
But this Can's dad is fearful time could be running out for his daughter, who's battling stage 4 neuroblastoma.
My daughter's got a 50% survival rate. It's pretty confronting.
Just last week, the toddler's condition took a turn for the worst.
Yeah, she couldn't really move. I would just show her videos of home. Yeah, I was crying the whole time though, because I don't see her enough.
The 31-year-old was arrested and charged for allegedly feeding his 2-year-old girl cannabis oil to ease pain and increase her appetite. Consequently, the IT consultant lost his job and is now only allowed supervised visits with his daughter a few hours a week.
That's been the hardest thing, not being there to support her and for her to see me and, you know, give her my love and care.
While his daughter fights cancer, he's fighting for medicinal marijuana to be legalised in Australia. His story has gained worldwide attention. 200,000 supporters have already signed a petition for his charges to be dropped.
So I don't have to have people supervising me and treated like a crim.
Do you think you're a criminal?
Absolutely not. All I wanted was my daughter to get well.
Former drug squad detective Senator Barry O'Sullivan backs the move to legalise medicinal marijuana, saying the government needs to act quickly but cautiously.
I don't think it's out of reach for this legislation if it survives, for this bill to make its way through both houses of Parliament.
Each day that ticks over is essentially children suffering as well as my daughter.
The Medical Cannabis Users Association is holding a vigil this week out the front of the Lady Salento Children's Hospital, not only for his family, but for thousands of others suffering too. Families and medical cannabis supporters will gather here at the vigil between 6 and 9 every night up until Thursday.
Absolutely, we're making a difference.
And Senator O'Sullivan says that difference could be known before the end of the year. Kristina Castalis, 10 Eyewitness News.
This is 10 Eyewitness News, first at 5, with Georgina Lewis.
Good evening. 3 Gold Coast Titans players are appealing for the immediate lifting of their suspensions after cocaine supply charges were adjourned for 2 months. Greg Bird, Dave Taylor and Khalifa Faifai-Law made brief appearances in Southport Court this morning, vowing to fight all charges. They were joined by former Titans Ashley Harrison and Joe Vickery, who will also plead not guilty. The lawyer for all the players called the evidence flimsy and speculative. Kristina Castalis was in court.
Swapping their Titans jerseys for suits, one by one, the 5 rugby league players accused of supplying cocaine fronted the media, hecklers,
rack it up, Birdie, rack it up,
and the Gold Coast Court.
Anything you want to say about the charges?
Greg Bird and Ashley Harrison both face 2 charges of supplying cocaine. Dave Taylor and Khalifa Faifai-Law face 1, and Englishman Joe Vickery 7.
They will be fighting the charges.
While they're all intending to plead not guilty, the accusations are taking their toll not only on the players, but their families as well.
We just can't believe that they can do this.
How are you feeling at the moment?
I can tell you one thing, yes, it has been very tough.
And it could drag out for some time, lawyers say up to 3 years.
It's a bit of a waste that they're getting paid to sit on the sideline. They're keen to play.
The player's lawyer says the evidence against his clients is insufficient. He's now fighting to get the charges dropped. Bird, Taylor and Faifai-Law want to get back on the field as soon as they can.
Greg, you keen to play this weekend in Bathurst, mate? I am. You keen to play this weekend?
But first, they'll have to convince the Titans board to reinstate them.
The RLPA will be sorting an urgent meeting with all parties to get the boys back into full-time employment with their clubs.
The Players Association and lawyers made plans to meet the board this afternoon.
Their emphasis is trying to convince the board that they're of good character and that they are proud Titans and they should be playing.
The cases have been adjourned until May. Kristina Castalis, 10 Eyewitness News.
Popular mobile phone and tablet application Snapchat has a new feature that's causing alarm among police and child protection groups. Snap Cash has the ability to transfer money, allowing teenagers to sell obscene photos of themselves. Kristina Castalis explains how it works.
Millions of teens use it and are now making money from it. In the USA, Snapchat has a new feature, Snap Cash. Users can send and receive money instantly.
Swipe 3 fingers to make it rain.
But there's concerns children will send explicit photos to predators for cash.
Now, if you want to see any of those pictures or pictures of my you gotta pay $15.
He wanted to send nudes to me.
Brett Lee was an undercover internet detective for years, catching pedophiles online.
This gives them a perfect opportunity to offer an instant gift to a young person in exchange, maybe a naked photograph, a video.
He says many children send photos on impulse without realising the ramifications.
They may forward naked photographs of themselves to that adult person. That adult person then uses that material to blackmail, threaten or extort that child into getting exactly what they want.
We showed Braveheart's criminologist Carol Ronkin the app's ad.
Connect your card and it will be stored securely for future transactions. A wise investment at any age.
At any age. So it's sort of not even restricting it to adults.
Child protection groups say these sorts of apps spread like wildfire and warn it won't be long until a version of it is available right here in Australia.
It is incredibly difficult to legislate against companies developing these types of apps.
The solution, they say, is education and parental awareness. Kristinamp4med, 10 Eyewitness News.
A new study has revealed more Australians are risking their lives by using their mobile phones even when walking. Kristinamp4med has the details.
Talking, texting, playing games or browsing the net. The task can be deadly when combined with walking down the street and into oncoming traffic.
They will not only suffer the physical injuries, they'll suffer potentially psychological injuries.
New research by the Queensland University of Technology reveals 1 in 5 people are guilty of texting and talking on the phone while crossing the road at least once a day.
I'm like super guilty. I mean, I've crashed into people, bumped into people all the time, so.
Meanwhile, 40% of people listen to music and 15% browse the internet, with teenagers most at risk.
They are high users of technology, so they are a group of people who are very much of concern for us.
Colleen Gattrell found out the hard way and learnt from the experience.
I just stacked it in front of everyone because I wasn't watching where I was going. I hurt myself and I was truly embarrassed, so I won't do it again.
For every 100 people who say they've almost been hit by a car, 15 of them admit they were using their smartphone at the time. Lawyers say if you're distracted and walk into traffic, you're partially responsible for the accident.
The court will apportion liability in terms of some for the driver and some for the pedestrian who's crossed the road.
Research is ongoing, and once the study is complete, the data along with several recommendations will be forwarded onto governments and police around Australia and New Zealand. Kristinamp4med, 10 Eyewitness News.